Hey everyone, welcome to Hey You Chat. Hey You Level Design. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We're going to be doing some more detailing tonight, so appreciate everyone joining. I'm actually starting this off a little differently than I have in the past, which is in Team Fortress 2 with this actually built, just to kind of show off all the work that's been done so far on the map. So if you're new to the stream, level designer for Team Fortress 2, a few other games, and working on this map called Emergent. The playstyle is VIP, and it's a 2-point map, kind of like Gorge, the CP map, but with a mobster that goes through it. So this is blue spawn point. You go through A. There's a few ways to get there. The setting's a jungle, outdoor jungle type setting, and brings us into point A, which has now been detailed for the most part. A few more things to do on it, but mostly detailed. And we're going to focus on this building this afternoon, but just to take you through the rest of the map, if this is new to you, team would capture point A, continue through into some ruins, working on some texture tests, so please ignore these bad textures here on these ruins, but we move into the ruins area, which is point B here, and then red spawn is back here. So as mentioned, did a little bit of work on this since the last session. In the last session that I streamed, we actually put this together. So if you checked out the series, there's 16 parts so far, and I was able to put this together, and then just did a little bit more work, and it needs a lot more work, quite frankly. But we'll work on this building today just to take you through this. Did some texturing of it, some light texturing of the outside, and then probably going to go with this white texture here. I found a building in, there's a lot of buildings that have this texture in it in Team Fortress 2, but in Thunder Mountain, I went back to Thunder Mountain to kind of get some ideas there, and really like this texture, so I stole it. But might end up changing in the long run, but we'll just go with that tonight, and then put a little prop library here for myself. So let's jump out of Hammer, and sorry, out of Team Fortress 2 and jump into Hammer. What did I get? Sorry. Okay. So, yeah, here's the map here. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. I'm going to be jumping in and out of voice tonight. So, but hey, Wendy, thanks for joining. If you guys have any questions, comments along the way, feel free to jump in. I'll be watching chat as we go through this. But I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get all this this texture posted everywhere as much as possible. It's gonna be a pretty quick thing. Hey Jolts, how's it going? Thanks for joining. I've been tempted to work on this building all day long as I kind of worked on it between the last session and this session. I feel like a lot of this interior detailing work can be a lot of fun. The fun part for me is adding in a lot of the like interior beams and things like that. I'll jump over to this other building to kind of show a little bit of that, like this type of work. Really enjoy that. So yeah, taking things slow. Ozzy. See, I'm going to post this everywhere. I think I got some texture leakage I might have to fix. Split this real quick. Yeah, easy. Let me know if you guys can't hear me or if the music's too loud, so I can adjust that for everyone. But anyone working on anything tonight? Any projects you guys working on? earlier, recognizing this is going to be a problem. Cut that here. Oh, nice. Oh, gotcha. Okay, I see. Hey, Edzy. Yeah, I've spent some time looking at rake work just to see if I could provide some feedback, but it seemed like you guys are always a step ahead. I'm trying to figure out what to do there. But some awesome teamwork there. Working on implementing the mobsters loser animations. Not many right now though. I've seen a little bit of the animation work so far. You know, I thought was pretty good. I'm excited to see the final output there. Go with this texture here. Yeah, I spent a little time earlier, like I said, in Thunder Mountain. I don't know if anyone's gone back to that, but it's like the detailing is very lacking in that whole map. Big fan of like raised roofs, so thinking about, let's see what I can do here. Let me just run this down. I bet I could. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I kind of made a fake roof here, but it looks almost like, you know, to the unobserving player, this can create more of a better feeling, I guess. But really, it's fake. You know, I've faked the players out because there's all these layers up here above it. So I'm going to do something like that over here too, probably. Oh, really? Interesting. I could see that being the case. Don't think I need that. Yeah, not my favorite map, Thunder Mountain, at all. It does feel like that. Now that you say that, Thunder Mountain was just completely scrapped at some point in time, or the payload version, because it appreciate the project for what it is, though. Give me 1 minute. My dog is barking outside. I'll be right back in 30 seconds. All right. Right. I've got a few of those fake ceilings and a few other maps that I've done, but just gonna keep doing it. So I did need that. Looks like. Just gonna have to come back and figure that out later. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. PL Pinecrest, what is that? So that feels a lot better overall, especially as a red player potentially coming back. Blue players probably won't notice that as much, but I'll clean all this texturing up. Got a little bit of a problem here that I have to figure out. I'm just going to slice that. Yeah, this is a super lazy move, but it'll be fine as long as I keep that as a regular brush. Just texture like that. Might be better like that. Yeah. Okay. And I need to figure out what the bottom of this will be. I don't know if it's going to work so much on the bottom. I guess it really depends on what this texture is. It probably should be the same. Probably end up coming back to change that. I see it. Pinecrest was early Thunder Mountain. They scrapped it. Right. Yeah, so the good news was this is the real, pretty real roof here, so. Although that is a funky detail, so I'm going to have to fix that. Or I might have to just do this again. That's probably what's going to have to happen. I think that'll be fine. So now comes the beam work. So and then we'll jump to the outside too and do some work on the outside after this. But I want to get these beams set up in here. Pulled the texture from that they actually used in Thunder Mountain 2, just because I wanted that to align. I'm going to copy this quite a few times, so I'm just going to go ahead and Even though this will never draw in the game. Where is it? Whoa. We'll never draw in the game. I'm just going to get the backside of that beam. Top. And bottom. Because I'm going to reuse it quite a few. Should have just textured the whole thing using this button, but I did not. So I'm going to get all these corner beams in place. Oh, interesting. Just was looking at my DM just now at the post from Crash. Just realizing I might want to give myself a little room here. Not sure that's going to affect everything. Wondering what the heck this thing is over here. Yeah, that's not right. Perfect. Alright, glad I grabbed that. Okay. Still quite a bit of work to do on this map. Like this whole building's gonna be a beast, but oh, there's something there. So I'm just gonna get lazy on this one too and cut it. Yeah, a lot of work to still do on this map. Overall. And I'm a little worried about this building on the backside too. We'll see how this ends up on the end of the session, but I'm not sure if that beam is necessary there. I'll figure that out later, but it's a little bit flat, the backside here, and I've just been trying to figure out what to do there to fix that. Alright, so widened that out to give myself some room to put some kind of proper beams in here. Oof. That is same size. Okay. I'm gonna want to run one right across there, so one in the middle eventually, but what I'm going to do is cut this in half. Mess that all up. this helps me do is measure this out a little bit better. So now know the center is there. Probably want 2 more. That's what I usually do. Just helps me measure. This appropriately. Just take this. Control, shift drag, hold shift drag, and should have been evenly spaced if I did that correctly. Use, take this, slice it, reuse it. Did not do that the way I wanted to do it, but it's fine. Be the top beams up here. To do a little bit of work on this though. Hit Shift X, by the way, to cycle through if you're new to Hammer. To cut. This is going to get copied a few times, so I want to make sure the other side of this looks right. Alright, so my spacing has been done for me. In theory. Get really efficient. Just one more. Thing I always have to come back and do later, but I'm going to do some now, is just make sure that, you know, these are supposed to be wood beams here, so I kind of want to make sure that it looks like a solid beam from top to bottom. There's a few ways you can get around that. Like, you don't have to actually do what I just did. You can go right, left. I forgot which ones work best, but I usually just kind of rotate around. Great. I think the one thing I really messed up on, actually, what I should have did before which is cut down through all of these. So I can either copy it or just do it on each one. I'm probably just going to do it on each one, but that has saved me a lot of time to do early. Those two are going to have to be redone anyway, so come back to that. I think it might make more sense to just cut into this thing. Make it original pieces. That much better. I'm going to go and take all these temporary lights out because we'll replace all that. I get real sloppy during play testing when it comes to lights. I just want people to see it. I could really care less about what it looks like. But we're going to make it look a lot better, hopefully today. I also feel like it's a handicap for, like, if your map shows that it's got a really good layout, a good layout, let's say, and you get the lighting right and all the texturing, it really comes to life. So anyway, if you're new, just joining the channel, today's stream we're working on this building, part of Emergent. So I'm trying to get the inside beams done right now. These stairs are kind of driving me nuts. I'm not really sure the best. That is sideways. You know what it is? That's what it, I'm not really sure. So I'm about to come back and change that probably. I'm not a big fan of all this wood on these stairs, but for now I'm just going to do it, get rid of this white. Control Z, it's just like my trigger finger almost. I don't know if any other mappers get like that, where you just second nature, Control Z, just about everything. Might just be my age. The older I get, the more a fat finger, just about everything. Okay, I think I got all those inside textures done. Continue on. Good example. I was a little afraid of that. A little too high. It's definitely a good stage to feel to be in. This kind of detailing stage, I will say. There's probably a couple still layout things that are out there, but I feel like you just get to a point where kind of run your head into the wall, trying to figure out how to make a layout completely perfect. I'm not sure what to do with those just right now. Yeah. Yeah, I have a problem with ADHD with mapping. Like, I'll get in sessions like these where I'm supposed to focus on a building like this, and you kind of see it in some of my streams where I'm like working on this, and then I find some issue on the other side of the map where I've got to just turn around and work on that for, oh man, I can't believe I just did that. I'm not paying attention. So let me make sure the texture on this is right before I copy it over. But yeah, I will just get lost with ADHD. My analogy is always like mowing the yard. You know, some people like to go around in a path, you know, on the outer edge, and it's like perfect whatever. And I think if I were to mow a yard, and I have a few times in my life, like mowed yards or whatever, like do this patch over here, you know, just I'm like all over the place. Yard gets mowed, just unfortunately there's not sequential process probably in place like there should be. I think I'm going to do this for now. I'm not sure if they run a strip up the middle. I think there usually is one. God, let me check this out. Oh, I had it open already. Here's that building I was talking about that kind of resembles what we're doing here today. But they do run a kind of a beam down the middle. Funny, it's a displacement. Kind of makes sense. I don't see what's wrong with using a funk detail. There must be something behind the scenes maybe. But I'm going to do something like that. Never thought about that, using like a larger beam too. Yeah, I think something like that probably worked just fine. Could be a little bigger, maybe. I like that. Yeah, the lights do need to rest on something, so. Anyway, I am not scared to, as you guys have probably seen through my stream, like to jump back into a Valve map to see how they did something. Thinking about, try this, see how this looks. Oof, messed that up, it's fine. even. That might be a session for another time. It's fine. All right, I think that's fine. Okay. Just questioning. I'm like, do I bring that out so it's even with this beam? Just that's how what do you call it? OCD maybe. Yeah, I'm not even sure if that's necessary now. Yeah, okay. It looked like I messed something up. There it is. Not even all the way over. I'm just noticing all these little white patches everywhere. Makes me wonder if there's one of these that is without that white patch. It's so weird. What is it? What's it called? Wall 015G. No. I also hate those little, you see that a lot in Team Fortress 2 maps. I try to avoid them. They're in a lot of my maps, but it's fine. Usually goes away with lighting. So, just throwing these up here. I still lost it in here. Yep. That actually be worth just pulling that down. Just to meet that beam. Yeah. If you get a lot of buildings with, I had this problem in Extinction, if you've got a lot of buildings with a lot of this type of brushwork, it can get really tedious, I will say, really quickly. Fortunately this is light lifting, so this part's fun for me. Yeah, like, oh, I wish that, okay, maybe that, pull it over. That's it, okay. Oh my god, yeah. I feel like it's one of the things that can really make or break a map sometimes too. Make it or break it as far as looking good. There's some beam work in Stony Ridge that we struggled with quite a bit. That we like went a little too crazy in some of the early versions and then pulled way back. And I look at it today and I'm not 100% sure if we still got it right, but I really want to sneak a. Maybe I keep pulling this doorway over and over, making it smaller and smaller. I'm a little worried about do this. Right. There's not a lot of farm theme maps. I know Freyja made God, I can't remember the name of that payload map. But that could be a good one. I try not to get influence from other custom maps. The only times I'll load another custom map is due to the play mode, just to look at like some of the engineering or something. Ugh. The thing I'm considering on this map actually, or at least these two buildings, is there's not a lot of water influence. There's just kind of like some power comes into these two for the most part. Although I kind of see this as probably one of the earliest buildings that was built kind of in this area, is this train yard that brought in all the supplies. At one point, just kind of went out of service, stopped getting used. Still there, but that's why the vines were overgrown. And this one was probably one of the second buildings established in the region, more forward facing to the ruins. And this had to have come later, along with the red industry, and then I could see that this being one of the later buildings being built, by the mobsters, or something that they maybe snuck into and utilized, or whatever. It's been something that I've been telling myself. But Square from the Extinction team, one of the concept artists, kind of got me thinking about that in that map, and I'm like, I should really start thinking about some of that stuff earlier, about that. I'm not even sure if the Team Fortress 2 teams really go into that much detail around their stuff or not, but so I'm going to put a player clip along this wall here, because I had to expand that out, if everyone remembers earlier. And I just don't want anyone getting clipped up on all that brushwork there, so I'm just going to keep that like that. So with that, I got to figure out if I'm going to pull this in here. Probably makes sense to pull this in, then pull these two up. I think these stairs are probably going to end up running into this beam, but it's going to be okay. It's all funk details anyway. And wow, that was already over there. Don't really need that on top of that. It doesn't really matter either way, but okay. I don't want those two textures competing, so I am gonna just take that off. One of the things I will see, I used to do this a lot myself, is a gripe that I see is you'll see beams kind of going all the way up and then a beam through the middle, which you can build like that, but really, like, stuff should rest on top of stuff, like, from a building perspective. So I don't know how many other mappers catch that or not, but you'll see that occasionally happen, even in Valve maps. The door frames won't completely rest on top like they should. Let's get some of these beams over here. Yeah, I was having this problem in Sandswept. So that map really had to go through multiple iterations. And the team there just kept going, like, you need more beams, you need more beams. Like, I'm so tired of doing beams. knows what the problem is. Oops. Let's see if I have something I can steal from somewhere. Yeah, there we go. Go the wrong way. Okay, I want this to rest here. Maybe I do it like that. Yeah, that feels a little better. Okay. Ooh, what did I do there? Well, it was not even. Some beams in these doorways here. I'm gonna go to the outside, just take a little break from some of this beam work after I get done putting some of these in. So I think I'm gonna probably need to change that one to metal. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. We'll see. That I'm looking at that, I'm like, this might be the biggest doorway I've ever seen. It doesn't make any sense, so I think I'm gonna fix that. Maybe. I don't know. Well, it's not necessary, really. I see why I did it, but it just looks weird. I think that's gonna be better. Okay. thing I'm gonna have to do now is fix some of these area portals, because great. I love this song. Certain songs I can just map better too. This is one of those. I don't know if anyone has. And I've heard some say they don't use any music when they're doing work, but for some reason, it seems to really help. So I'm gonna do the same thing here that I did on that lower wall. It's funny too because a lot of the time I feel like they wouldn't be perfectly aligned, you know. I feel like a lot of the Team Fortress 2 maps, especially some of the old Dust Bowls, just dig into this. What's that? Probably fill it up a little bit better. Still looks a little weird. That should be open like that. I'm not sure if that should connect or not. I do need to add beams down here, but I'm going to take a break and go outside. Alright, so I want to put this in somewhere where it makes sense. So we're going to run a wire probably from here to like here or something. Here. Yeah. So you'll notice fade distances is what I was just messing with there. If you're new to mapping or catching these videos in the future sometime, and they control players being able to see them. So you'll notice this little yellow ring kind of shows that. I currently have them too far right now is what I realized, but they'll disappear. They'll do that in the game too. I used to do what a lot of the older Valve maps would do, which is make these two values different, so that there's a bit of a fade. But what I've been told is that actually can cost you more. That fading. It kind of like fading in the distance can actually cause more rendering. So I was actually advised to keep them the same. I'm not sure how that looks. Might be better on the other side. That window versus the other window. Gotta be careful of those two. Almost prefer two of those in place. Let's see, let's do a different one now. This one for maybe this back side. I'm not sure if I want to even use that one. Put it back down here. Oh, I already have it. Yep, good. And boy, is that ugly. Just I might have to do this. That's a little better. I might come back and change that eventually, but it doesn't. Come on. Right. That's what it needs. Okay. Let me grab it and remake it. Let's see. Interesting. I've built these so many times. I should just have gone to another map and copied and pasted it out of that. Voila. I'm going to need to turn in all the beams into funky tells, but I'm going to go and do this one here. And then I can copy and paste that if I need to later on. If I need to use this for any reason. Again. Although I don't expect a lot of a need. It's probably the only one of these I'm going to have. I grabbed a few props earlier that I thought might work in here, okay. Or make sense for the... boxes. Can't have a Team Fortress 2 map without these boxes in them. Might even need a couple. Let's go. We can put some stuff back on there later on. Let's put a pallet in here somewhere. Actually, a pallet would probably make more sense over here, because pallets would have came in off this, but who knows, they pulled one over here somehow without a pallet jack. And really have made the most sense over here. Feels like it's got to be floating. Alright, back to the outside. Got real distracted there. Just a little too, it's not right. Where did I see that? That's right. Still that. Oh my. Where is the center of this? It's right on there, okay. Something right there. Oh, I forgot to talk about one important thing today. I don't know if that's it that I need, but let's try it. A little worried about the angle of it not being exactly right. And it's not. So. Let's get that off. By the way, this skybox I'm gonna end up making a custom skybox for it. This has just been a placeholder this whole time. Just gotta make it. What am I doing? Should just really look. Use no roof structure fixtures. What do they call this? Chimney. Let's just grab it. Chimney. Actually, I go to that. Stuff that players will never see. Chapter 1. Let's go there, actually. Let me talk about something really important here. So, in a couple sessions ago, this roof did not look the way that it looked. In fact, all these roofs didn't really look like the way that they looked. Let's open up B1 to kind of show that. Okay. It's just going to show how I view things and how I'm thinking about them. So you'll notice, I knew there was going to be some kind of thing like this, but wasn't really sure about it. I had always wanted this to be a train yard, which is why a train ended up pulling in here. But you'll notice this roof, primarily very flat roof. So why, how, what did I do to make it come from this to really what you see here? My goal, and I think for all Team Fortress 2, all level designers, is your roofs play a very important role in everything. So one of the things you'll notice is this is the highest point right now. When you're standing here as a blue player, this is the highest point that you can see as far as buildings go. What this does and should do is kind of direct players that eventually, like, you're going to want to go towards the highest point. So I'm also pointing players this way a little bit. There's a bit of an arrow, although it points back that way. And I had to play with that for a while to kind of get that. You'll notice they did this in Thunder Mountain as well. There's this same design. I have too many maps open right now. But let's open this ugly map. Here it is right here. This is the building. Kind of took some textures from, but you notice they slope that down. And really what that is it's an arrow over this way. Stole the same kind of thought there. completely different buildings, but and they just don't have enough detailing in there. But that's the thought there. So that's how, and I just kind of kept that in place. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat that that ended up working there. But over last night, I went through a few different iterations of this before I landed on it. I'm not even sure if it's 100% complete because I've had some other ideas around how the building should look, and I am not happy with how flat the back side of this building is either, but I think it's okay because same thing happens here. I've blocked the view of this, but created an arrow this way. This is also the biggest building, and should move players towards trying to find it. And then I, again, have increased the roofs here to pull players this way. Hopefully they see that. I'm gonna have some lights here. Where did those disappear to? That's weird. Oh, I lost some work. Let me fix that real quick. I don't need that many lights. I'm doing this to brighten up this area, but also I want a spotlight shining on this. So building's starting to come to life. The big thing I need to do is start adding lights. So I'm gonna actually reuse these lights here. Appreciate everyone hanging out tonight, by the way. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So anyway, I approach that little building, thing that I was pointing out. I approach all, I got a little distracted there. I approach all buildings like that. So same thing will happen with these, although I haven't figured out how the roofs will look, what these will be, if this is going to be a central kind of like gorge type thing, although it makes me sick to do that again. It may end up becoming, you know, more metal buildings. Not really sure yet, but you can expect that these roofs won't always look the same. They're literally just to block viewability right now. So you'll notice I have my skips and hints in place, running right along the tops of those. So I'm making sure I'm cutting that down for now. Probably need more in, like cutting. I'd have to look at how my portal flow is going right now, but I'm like leagues away from worrying about that right now. Just detailing. Full steam ahead right now on detailing, and then I'll come back to optimization. Generally something I come back to later, but I've already done all my optimization work early on with the map design. I'm making sure that even you'll see with these buildings, the tops of these buildings, if you turn off all the funk details, everything's cut off to where players can't see over or under, you know, so all that's over. This song still cracks me up because it sounds like they're saying "Hey you." If anyone can hear the music very well, I've got streaming. So let me get back to the outside of this building. I realized that I did that. Change this up. So I'm going to keep streaming a little longer tonight than I normally do. I'm going to go back to the beginning. Updated my playlist, earlier today, and was kind of getting tired of what I was listening to previously. Although some of the same songs are still on there. But I've been considering taking some of these songs that I really enjoy and making like a lo-fi kind of playlist over some of my maps and just like real slow movement type things. I think I'd have to edit it together to do it right, but I thought it'd be kind of cool. Maybe some people study to it or something. So the thing I've realized is I'm probably not going to release B3 for a little bit of time. I think I'm going to get about halfway through the detailing, which isn't going to take me that long. I'm going to keep doing these sessions, kind of full steam ahead right now. Yeah, the idea originally came from Manchester Orchestra. They had, God, it was during the COVID days. They I'm not even sure if we're supposed to say that on YouTube anymore, but they made a really cool video that I loved how slow the camera was moving through like these cars and stuff. If anyone's ever seen that, I forgot what album that's from. I find clipping work probably one of the most tedious things. Actually, it's probably my least favorite. Stuff like this, it's like, what do you do about that, you know? Just gotta fix it, otherwise people find a way to exploit it. So I usually take a clipping session later. I shouldn't be doing this on this session. It's like the boring work. Watch out for that, just in case. And the whole idea behind, you know, making this accelerated roof is just so that people can utilize it, or this lofted roof is so that people can utilize it. So alright, so come back to clipping. Continue on the outside of this building. Yeah, one of the thoughts I had, it's kind of like the music playing. Extinction's got a lot of cool, you know, the geysers coming on and off type stuff, where camera can move just ultra slow. Just, you know, geysers coming on and off. Then maybe even moving to this map, you know, it's just like super slow. You're seeing the waterfalls, but it almost takes 5 minutes or a full song to like move from here to like even this position. So, and you can do it if you turn the camera speed way down. I don't know how to use Source, unfortunately. Source Filmmaker. Enough to do that. So let me clean this up out of here. This makes sense here. Yeah, dynamic spectator camera would be cool. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I need to put beams on there, but considering putting one of these in, it's like, is there a utility closet over on the other side of this? Is there enough room over there? Not really sure. This whole session and these last sessions, I've got to turn all this into displacements. This just driving me nuts that this is like overlapping there, so I'll have to do that soon. Bottom left. All right. Yep. What was that? That's fine. Okay. Ooh boy, look at that. Okay. I also spent a session too fixing all the prop fade links, so probably come back and do that. Not bad to do it while you're working through at all. Let's see, way back here. This type of stuff you gotta be really careful with, because even for me, I gotta think, you know, this is an animated prop almost, although it's only spinning while people are fighting, it's just gonna be going the whole time. So I may end up having to change that out or rethink, you know, some of these things that are on the roofs up here. So I did not even get that right. A lot of this stuff is going to draw. So I may end up even coming back and removing a lot of it, sadly. Right, so the one thing I did want to do is put some kind of red indication up here, although the whole building's red, purposely too. Usually I like to do that, you know, draw. You see a lot of this is kind of resembling red. Red is set up here. Let's see overlays. I'll just type in red first. Just kind of thinking the old Red Barn red.
Maybe there's
I don't know if those are going to work for this map. Red. I don't like that. A little more for capture the flag type things. Feels like there's just like a light hint of red. Like the way that is. That might make more sense, really. Tie these two buildings together. Just red on red does not work. Yeah, unfortunately not. I might have to come back and put something up there. Oh, that's so ugly. It's gonna be really faded, something really faded, very light hint of it. May not find this tonight, unfortunately. Let's check overlays. Overlay might be actually the thing I'm looking for. Maybe that right there. Man, Binsky's been used so many times. Let's try this red shed. Nope. That might be it. Let's just go with that for now. Ah, it's so bare. How much is it? Nothing. So weird. Let's get out of here. Let's have open. Yeah, I don't need that crap. I want to look at something real quick. Upward. Upward has some of the better kind of just well thought through. So some of them could be argued to be ugly, but just kind of amazed at some of the thinking through. I had to go back to this for Extinction actually to think through some of my rooftops just to make sure that they actually fit this, but I don't know if they have a kind of metal farm. Putting my lines in later, it's also something I'll be doing. Just interesting how bare metal buildings can be. There's those stripes, kind of can't stand. Yeah, it's amazing, like a lot of visual cues and draws, you know, like even this, it's kind of pointing out this way. Roof stuffs maybe don't do, but you know, whoever did this puts that huge sign in there. This is supposed to draw, you know, here's your triangle here. Another triangle and there. So trying to see if there's anything else I should be adding to the outside of these buildings. Probably okay there. I'm trying to avoid a lot of pipe work in this map actually. I've done a lot of pipe work in the last couple maps I've done. While it's great, just okay, let me get out of this. This is the old version. Okay. That's probably good there. Actually, now that I'm looking at it again. You have to sleep on it too sometimes. Probably need really for something here. That green hose probably would have made sense, but I'm not putting any pipes in this building, so that's not going to make a lot of sense. Something like this probably would have made more sense over there now that I think about it. Stump. And if anyone just happens to be new watching this for whatever reason, you're wondering how am I moving that off the grid, I'm holding down it's Alt? Yeah, it's Alt. It'll allow you to move it off the grid. All you need to. Alright, I think that'll look good with some lines drawn in over here. Maybe I just go ahead and do that now. So forget with this stupid, oh, what are those called? Oh, let me just go start off my own map. Let's go to Sans Swept. Yeah, you just hold down Alt. Only recommended for props, or really wouldn't recommend it for anything else. But it's like that fine tune. Like I got to get this thing right off the ground, and for whatever reason, the prop person didn't build it the right way. You can do that. So my map snow swept from released this in December. 3-point CP map. It's supposed to be an attack, defend, robot map, but I'm not sure it'll ever make it there. I'm just gonna take one of these off here. Here's a good example where I gotta get that right off the grid. Just to make sure it's the place you need. Oh, actually, it's supposed to be up here. I forgot. It's supposed to connect there. Yep. What are these things called again? Keyframe? Rope. Move rope, that's right. Let's see whether it makes sense. Really, probably would only make sense to connect it to... leave that there for now. I'll come back to that. Just a placeholder. And I am pushing X to switch to that hotkey, by the way. I've already did that one. So much stuff in this program that I probably don't even know. Just even working in it, the amount of years I have, and it's amazing to come across someone that'll have really good advice occasionally. Like, wow, that was in the game the whole entire time. Alright, so beams and the rest of this area. It's time for that. I am considering to put some diagonal beams in here, but I think for now it's fine. There's a lot of stuff here too that, like, I have to fidget or go, what does that thing do there? Like, I have no clue a lot of the time. Or a lot of keyboard shortcuts I probably don't know. What a question. I've just started on putting these beams in the lower part. I'm like, man, I want to go do something else. It's such tedious work sometimes. Carpal tunnel is a real thing too. I don't know if anyone has been experiencing that yet, but I have, and it's not fun. I've considered over the years getting like a different mouse setup and keyboard, like one of those keyboards that stand up sideways. You have like these mirrors you can see, but just found if I kind of keep my mapping sessions to about 2 hours max at a time, it seems to just kind of do it the best justice, really. Curious anyone's thoughts on how they think the SDK will end up, SDK release will end up affecting Team Fortress 2, if it'll have much of an effect. Are they going to still release updates? I feel like they are, probably. But I don't know. Have been like seriously considering making this my last project on the Team Fortress 2 front, just because I've been doing more work in Unreal Engine, and yeah, just not sure the complete future. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. It's going to allow a lot of the source mods. You know, I've seen the argument too that, like, there's still a need for the core Team Fortress 2 fan base, you know, to do their things and collect hats and do all that fun stuff. And Um, I don't know, you know. Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too, that Valve worked on that as their kind of last hurrah for Team Fortress 2. It's a shame too, just like even from the beginning, the excitement that we had, and I don't know how many people were there in those early years for like the first updates and releases, but like it was just like one of the best things ever. Sitting around, kind of waiting for the update to come out, day 2, day 3, day 4, and I kind of missed those kind of golden years of Team Fortress 2 where the updates were like a huge deal, and so we got a problem here, a visual problem really. I don't necessarily really want to draw red in here so much, but there's not a lot that really draws them in right now, so. Yeah. Team Fortress 2 Classic has also really confused me as a project. Seems like a really cool idea, and all the work there, you know, kudos to that. But I think Team Fortress Classic, I think, you know, 2008, 2009, limited weapons, you know, like maybe the first 3 releases of each, you know, it's like kind of that, and classic maps and that type of thing, you know, a really polished version of that. And for some reason it's become like Team Fortress 2 Other or something. I don't know what you would call it, but it's just been kind of interesting to see that develop. Anyway. Yeah. Oh, really? I've seen some really cool weapons out of it. I will say that, like the medic has like a grenade weapon um, that I thought was a really good idea. So I don't know. When I've seen this whole SDK thing kind of come out, my first thought was basically Valve said, "Hey, we're not going to put the time into perfecting this ourselves, but we're going to see what the community can do." You know, so like, here you go. Here's the keys to the car. You guys go have fun, and we're just gonna like either steal whatever idea that you come up with, or just buy it and implement it in the game for a little to no cost, and then reap, you know, all the money in the long run. So just kind of historically, and I think that's fine, you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if that is ultimately what happens. Is a lot of this stuff, you know, like, so. It's kind of weird to come back and think through that too. I think this just needs. This probably. Yeah, it is also very concerning. Yeah, I agree with that. That feels a little bit better there. Not sure I felt all that being exposed like that. Okay, let's continue on with lights. This is such a small upper area. I've been realizing that recently, especially as I looked at Thunder Mountain. And I hope it's okay. I hope that aspect will be okay. I've been considering like robbing some area out of this. One other consideration I've had too is making like some stairs that go down to almost like, it's not going to happen now because that's what I've done, but at one point I had considered putting like a little boat dock type area to where if you got blown off, you had like some chance of landing on this, and then you're kind of forced to go up there, or red could use it to kind of get behind, but I thought it might be annoying, so it just leads you straight to oh, glad I came in there, to this base. So never did that. But I should play some Team Fortress. Sounds like I should play some Team Fortress Classic a little bit more. Just based on some of the feedback I've heard, and you saying that. So the good news, I guess, is most of this building has been detailed now. It still feels like there's some stuff missing, maybe, out of it. I'm not sure what that is. But I usually have to do things in kind of two passes. I think it's just an energy thing, probably, or like coming back with a fresh set of eyes. Yeah, some stain overlays is a good idea. Especially with this paint, you know, kind of sitting down here, fresh paint setting out. Old paint, I don't know. Yeah, maybe some white. Let's see, white or blue could be okay. Goes. That's what it is. Too much. that there, so I don't think this is really necessary unless there's some kind of like closet under this stairs here. So you could argue maybe there's something here. I just don't think it's necessary. Okay, cleaned up all that. One of the things I do want is, where are they? We're just gonna crap load of them. I can never remember the name of them. Those. Oil drum. There we go. If you ever see me kind of do this, I am looking at it from the player's point of view, and I'm actually looking at it from a focal point perspective. I don't know how much I've talked about focal points on this channel, but focal points are everything. You want, just like a painting, you want, let's pull back here actually. Just like a painting, you want your picture to tell a story, and unfortunately the human brain can't absorb all the things at the same time, so they can only absorb one thing at a time. So you can actually generally draw a line from the first thing that they're probably going to look at, which is this. I'd imagine it's the red is generally a very high dominance color that the eye goes towards. Spells danger, actually. It's one of the things it spells. In the case of this picture, hopefully I've kept my things in thirds, and I'm telling some type of story to where my eye is drawn from one thing to another thing to the next thing, and it should be in order. So focal points kind of do that, and I would argue that there's one focal point here, probably start here, you know, my eye goes over here and then over there. And this happens really quickly with each frame that the player goes through. So I'm kind of looking, you know, am I on thirds? Have I built in triangles? You know, and am I doing those types of things? And then color is probably one of my weaker, color and lighting is probably one of my weaker areas. And so those come later for me, although I've been highly focused on that in this map. But anyway, if you're seeing me kind of zoom in and out, that's a lot of that. It's just kind of looking, making sure it makes sense, making sure I'm catching stuff too. But I'm a little worried about how flat this is. Like, do I need more beams? And let's do this. One more of those. Don't know how this is gonna look. There's that eye right there. And I appreciate those people, but I had on Extinction people fly through and go, hey, you know, like this pipe doesn't connect to this pipe, and this this catwalk, you know, doesn't connect completely to this catwalk. Just some, you know, small stuff like that. So kind of watch for that now, but just kind of funny the level of detail that people will look at sometimes if they really enjoy something, I guess. I like that. Okay. All right. So the one thing I've recognized is missing is some like actual foliage, trees, emergent, right? The map's called emergent, so I didn't realize I did that. That's such a bad thing. Yeah, there's a little bit some trees missing on this side that might actually help. There's an algae. Algae. Do I even know how to spell the word? Swamp algae. That's really what the outside of this thing needs. sure about that. I have to come back to that one. Let me go over to my library of foliage. What's tree one? I guess there was 2 of these. Woods. Thanks, Supersonic Bros. Appreciate that. Guess there was only one of those. Should have kept this the size it was. Alright. Nice. Yeah, really appreciate you guys. I know I've said this a couple times, but really appreciate you guys hanging out. Or anyone in the future watching this, catching this. So, I mentioned this earlier, but played around with a few textures on this. Oh my gosh, I just like losing my mind on what this ruin texture really needs to be. But was talking to someone, and she was like, "Hey, you should probably like consider what were these built out of? You know, probably the stone around." So that's kind of where I've gone with this, but I don't like it. So more work to come there. If anyone's seeing that in the future, just me kind of playing around with trying to figure out what's going to work there. So. And then one of the things Wendy was saying is this probably should use like a little railing or something on there. So I think I am going to add that. You know what this really means, actually, now I'm looking at it. God. Alright. Let's do it. Come back. Actually, do it now. Just needs one of those, like, little edges around it here. Actually, really looking forward to, I know I'm like kind of delaying the next release for this, but I'm looking forward to playing it with some of this detailing just to see. Sometimes it'll actually change how the map plays, and it's because of focal points. You know, like players move. I'm just messing this all up. All right, there it is. Okay. Royally messed that up. It's fine. Just gonna do it the old school way. I feel like there's a constant game going on in my head of like, what is the least amount of clicks I can do? Like, I've worked with engineers before. There's the concept of hands on keyboard. It's like anytime I take my hands off the mouse or keyboard or whatever, it supposedly slows you down or something like that. I forgot what it exactly they say, but so that's not gonna work. Actually, I wonder if I just get away with like this. What am I thinking? Great, let's get that player clip back on. I actually forgot why I clipped these handrails, but kind of advised to do, I think. Glad. Yep. Wow. I really want red to go off this way, so that might actually help with that some. We'll see how that does in playtest. Probably more of a reason to release B3 soon. As soon as I figure out how to get rid of that ugliness. Okay. Right, this might be a good stopping point here for the night. Actually, we've gone 2.5 hours, which I think is the longest stream that I've done so far. Let's take a look at how this ended. So I kind of want to do quick. The one thing I forgot to do was put lights throughout this thing, so I might want to do that real quick. Actually, just to see how that looks. Wow, look at that. We're stupid. Nah, we're not gonna do that. Yes. Ooh, look at all that bad brush work or texture work. That's the worst. so thin right there, but that'll be fine. I might have to fix it in the future if that gets any complaints. Put the lights everywhere there. Should this get annoying? Probably, maybe. Yeah, I like that. Alright, good recommendation. I like those. I don't know if Wendy's on, but hopefully, hopefully you'll see those at some point in the future. Still some more work to do in here. I can definitely see some spots where I'm like, yeah. But let's do a lighting preview real quick. I used to work on Extinction, I swear, like 16 hours a day. And now I can only go like a couple, 3 hours at a time. Remember in the peak prime of I'm liking this at least the outside of it. Like, I think this whole area is kind of pulling together real well. So I'm gonna just kind of show a before and after really quick of these two. To really illustrate, get the same lighting effect, just to make sure we have a good side by side. But here's kind of before, I should have let me do it. Anyway, so as you can see, the top, tops have changed quite a bit, which is where a lot of it comes from. Overall, from 2 versions back, current version. I think that's a pretty good stopping point. Really appreciate everyone coming in, dropping in tonight. Anyone watching this in the future. Definitely, if you want to catch these and more of these, probably going to end up doing a few more sessions because I'm going to have to finish this. It's going to take at least 2 sessions to do, and I'll probably prep this, the roofs kind of like I did up here before the session. And then blue spawn is going to require a whole big session to get that going. A lot of work over here to be done. Haven't even turned any of that into displacements yet, and this haven't even thought through yet. And then the big task is coming up probably with a custom texture that's actually going to work for a lot of this. The ruins need to be pulled in together. A lot of this is just kind of lazy brushwork to prepare for the final stage. But I got to make sure that all this looks really well done, and then all this is pulled together really well in the final stages. And even like stuff like that, I can tell is just sticking out too far. It feels weird there. Slapped in maybe even. So more to come, a lot of more fine tuning, and then there's even probably a session on the skybox that's going to need to be done, pulling that together. So, but kind of liking how some of this stuff's coming together. Really love this red, hints of red that I've thrown in. Just again, major focal point type thing. So if you guys have any questions, post this session. Please feel free to comment. I'll try to check the comments as much as I can, but good luck in your mapping projects or whatever you're working on, and we'll catch you in the next session. Thanks.